If you like trading trends and breakouts, this video is for you. And in this video, I'm gonna help you lose less trades, be more consistent, and be more profitable. I'm gonna show you how this simple strategy made me over $4,000 in just 2 days, and you can do the same. Now, if you're like me, you see a move like this, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna sell, and I'm selling all the way through this, right? And then price kind of reverses, I'm buying all the way through this. This is beautiful price action that we would look at and think, it's perfect for 10, 20, 30 points at a time. Now we know price only trends about 20% of the time, but when you're trading breakouts, you're looking for the candles that are making new lows or new highs, and in this case, it'd be a new low. And so if you mark out each candle that made a new low, that closed at a new low, there are 14 of them during this hour and 13 minutes, 73 candles. 14 divided by 73 gives us a 19% breakout success rate, meaning if you were looking to go short and get a brand new low from what was already established, there's only a 19% chance you actually got that throughout this entire move. So what looks obvious during a downward trend, and by the way, I'm counting, okay, the trend stopping right here at this green candle. That might not be true depending on how you look at things, but I'm gonna say it stops right there. That's really where it stops. So you have a 19% chance of catching a brand new low, taking a short throughout this move. Now let me know if this sounds familiar. There are times in the market, it could be hours, it could be days, it could be weeks, where everything you touch turns to gold. Every trade you get into seems like it's flying, you make a ton of money. And then there are periods of time where the market slows down a little bit, or there isn't any news, or there's nothing huge going on, and you give back all that money you made. And then you give back even more. You go into losses now. Now I'm speaking from experience because I would have these periods where I'd run it up and then I would lose it all. And so what would I do next? I would try to find a new strategy. I would try to find new indicators. I would go from indicators to price action. I go from price action back to indicators. I would look for some sort of coaching or mentorship. I would try to find anything to figure out why in the world couldn't I just be consistently profitable every single day? What was keeping me from that? The answer is simple. We have a structural issue. Think about it like this. 100% of the time we trade the markets with our trend breakout strategy, okay? Just like this. The market only gives us breakouts 20% of the time. So only sometimes does our strategy match up. Every other time we're losing. Anything above here, we're losing. Down here, we match up. And so we're like this all throughout the week, throughout the days, throughout the months. Every once in a while, we get exactly what we're looking for. We make a ton of money. But our strategy does not align with the way the market moves, meaning what we do is not designed to have success in the markets. It took me a ton of time to figure this out. Now, as traders, we have two mandates: preserve capital, grow capital. That is it. And so now that we know, or we are at least aware, that 20% of the time price is going to give us that trend, that breakout, that juicy move that we're looking for, but 80% of the time it's just going to go back to where it came from and try to test new lows and test new highs and reverse off of it, we probably need to flip our strategy over and go from trading breakouts to trading reversals. This is how we can be more accurate and more consistent. In this video, that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to find these spots consistently so that you can consistently make money. You might not be taking the trades that you want to trade, but you'll be doing what you're mandated to do, which is preserving capital, growing capital. Now, of the $2,800 that I made today, $2,100 of it came from these three trades right here. I went long here, and then I went short up here. Now I'll include the live examples and I'll talk through the live examples, but I want to just kind of break this down to you as to what I was seeing before I took the trade and then why I ended up taking the trade, because this one was a kind of an interesting one, but ended up working out decently anyway. Let's get rid of this first one here. All right, so at 9:01, here's exactly what I was seeing. Price is running down, obviously, coming off of this chop, which I wasn't able to trade. Now I see wick, wick here and here. Okay, so initially I'm like, all right, maybe price is done going down for a little bit. There's one wick, there's two wicks. So easily, like for me, I think at least, I just put my entry at this low right here. It runs past my entry. I think that was 4 points. And then it snaps back up really quick. So we end up making about 600 bucks on this trade here. Really simple, really easy. Trading 4 contracts really fast, right? Price comes and flies down. It makes a new low here, makes a new low here. I'm like, you know what, let me try it again. Now I could have taken the same trade at 9:03. I'm not exactly sure why I didn't. I might have just missed it. I'm not sure. But this trade was a banger right here. Pretty simple, pretty easy. This one right here at 9:07, which we'll look at as well, is a little more interesting, but the same type of concept, which is price. Let me move this down here. Price makes this low right here, okay? And honestly, I'm still looking at these lows down here thinking it could be something. So I get into the trade right around here. Now this one had quite a bit of drawdown. I guess that would have been 6 points or so. Trading 4 contracts is a lot. But it snaps back up quickly for us, able to make some decent money on this one too. Not the cleanest of trades. What would have been better is waiting for this low to get established and then probably taking this one right here, which I think I ended up doing at 16. Where is that? Right here. So I did take, I'll include 16 as well. It was a smaller trade, but I did end up taking a long off of this right down here using this level that was already pre-made. All right. And then lastly was this trade right here, which we made most of our money on. It's one of our better ones. Now I have been working on building an indicator that spots all of these levels for us, that we can figure out exactly where to place our limit order so that when price hits it, we can hopefully catch a nice reversal off of it. And that's exactly what we got on this third trade right here. So it doesn't look like it'd be a banger, but this a trade we made over $1,000 on this specific move. And here's what happened. We found that a nice gap was sitting right in here. Like this area right here was not being pushed through. And so we essentially, all we had to do was take a short off of this, and really it was this high right here. This high right here, and we rode it all the way back down. We'll look at it and I'll record over in a live example, but this is a monster trade as well. And all we had to do is figure out where price wasn't going to go any higher, place our limit order, and once it got filled, price ripped for us. All right, so trade one here, we looked at it before, but price was trending down, right? It was already coming down and we'd seen that level tested kind of twice. So put my entry right at the right spot and price jumped a little bit below. So we did have a little bit of drawdown here and then ripped back up. And so on this trade specifically, we made over 600 bucks, I believe, on this bad boy, if that's what it says. I really thought price might like take off up and I was really hoping to see that. It didn't, but a really good trade here off a really good entry. So that's trade number one. Now trade two had a little bit different logic, but still the same. We had that clumping above of all these different wicks and price shoots down. Fantastic. Now I'm kind of betting here that price doesn't make a brand new low and actually reverses back up. And that's exactly what we get. So my entry gets run through a little bit as in price gave me a little bit of drawdown, but once it like recovered nicely, we were off and running. That was about 400 bucks on that trade. Now trade three was pretty solid too, but this is kind of textbook. Price finds a low, and then it breaks through. Our entry is right at those previous lows, and then price jumps back up. Now, unfortunately for this specific trade, price didn't run up as much as I wanted to, so it's kind of a smaller win. Now this final trade is exactly what you want when you trade reversals. What you want to see is price test a new high or a new low, roll back to its open, and then begin kind of a brand new move. And that's what we get here. So price hits my entry right above that previous wick high. We jump in, a little bit of drawdown, maybe 2 points or so, and then price falls all the way back to where it opened and then starts to go down even further. We were up like 1,200 bucks at the peak of this trade. A really solid trade. That's the strategy. All we're doing is using market structure to our benefit. We know price is going to reverse 80% of the time. We have to find those spots, place our limit orders there, and then let the trades get filled, trail them from there, and collect the profits. I'll see you in the next one.